we're off.
We're recording?
We are recording.
That's awesome.
Well, we're starting. 17 minutes.
Okay. So we're here today to talk about music and its influence on politics.
Influence on politics. I mean, shouldn't we... we got 15 minutes. That's going to be like a 5-minute conversation. So, shouldn't we broaden that maybe a little bit?
There's no limits to the conversation. You can start with NWA and start with Public Enemy and go all the way to now. There's a lot to say about that.
Okay. Well, what do you have to say about it? Or actually, let's start with Wendy. She's our guest. She should go first.
Hello. So my name is Wendy today, and as far as music and politics, music's influential on all levels. Politics is no exception to that. Music can be very political. I personally appreciate artists who are unafraid to kind of make things political. One of my favorite groups was the 90s group, the Cranberries, and I remember they did a lot of music about anti-war stuff and just really putting things in perspective, understanding that with war, the casualties are children often. So these are things that we think about, and good music speaks to the heart, and hopefully it can invoke an awakening among people and influence people. One of my favorite artists, Bob Marley, he was very political. I would say Marley was very political, and I believe he really influenced people's mindsets. As far as thinking globally and a more relatable level, just understanding that we're all human beings. Music and politics are very closely related. Some artists say they don't want to speak about politics. I'm not saying that's your duty necessarily as an artist. I think your duty is to fulfill your purpose as in your artistry. But I do appreciate an artist that's willing to take it there and show some balls. They're willing to speak out about how they feel. I always respect courage. That's always an attribute that I feel is very attractive among people. So I think an artist can take it there and support.
I agree with Bob Marley as an artist that was political, who had a huge impact on society, and I agree with a lot of his impact in his teachings. But I think the problem is, today's artists aren't as conscious as Bob Marley was. So you have an artist like YG or T.I.
Oh yeah, I know what T.I.
But they're just rappers, really.
Right.
And they don't have they're not as conscious as Bob Marley was. But they do have a huge following. So they step into the political arena with their political ideas or views, which are not much more than the average person. So they're influencing huge masses of people with a handful of information.
That's other people, though. Nobody told your ass to get influenced. There's books everywhere. You go to the library and read up on stuff and formulate your own opinion. Who's running to see, I'm not going to call out any specific rapper, but I'm sorry, I just don't really care that much how they feel about politics that much if I don't feel like they're a credible source. So I'm not going to be running to I'm not going to name anybody, but the latest pop star to find out how should I vote. No, I want to reflect on my life and what's necessary for that. As far as my what influences me politically.
Well, I also feel that artists can be political as far as as a person, but in their music, their music needs to be relatable at all times. And politics will only make your if you write a song about Trump right now, it's only going to be relatable for a few months to a few years. But beyond that, you listen to music that I used to listen to when I was a kid, and you don't hear anybody talking about Ross Perot and George Bush. It's because it's not really relatable now.
But the Beatles were very political, and it's not necessarily. Sometimes they do it in a more artistic way. What was that song? I heard the news today, oh boy. That Beatles song. They're talking about some political stuff sometimes in their music, and a lot of artists may not do it in their artistry. They may do it they may use their platform to speak out on it. You too, I know Bono has done a lot of work on politics and influencing things globally. To me, he's a more credible source. He gets his hands dirty, you know. He's out with the people, so he's a credible source, you know. I respect, you know, artists that